How's it going? Oh my goodness, do I have something great for you today? A mother has sent what appears to be a religious sermon to an anime artist because her son has purchased the merchandise. And apparently, he bought a booby mousepad, and the mother is in absolute disarray. But which, like, it's fine. Like, you as a parent should be able to decide what your son buys or not. But to actually go and lecture the company for something that your son did is bewildering to me, right? So he goes and purchases anime merchandise, which looks like this, right? And the mother, like, freaks out. It's like, Jesus, how could you allow me to be such an awful parent? But, like, this is the thing. She doesn't blame herself as being a bad parent. She's blaming the corporation for running a business. It's insane. Now, we don't know how old the son is, right? If it's underage, if it's not. Because if it's underage, how did they have access to a credit card, madame? Madame, how did they have access to money? Lady, hey. Honestly, depending on the age, obviously, because, like, if it's a 5-year-old versus a 17-year-old, it may be a little bit of a difference, but I would be happy they're not buying drugs, Just saying. Still, it's up to every parent to decide what their kids can and can't buy. I agree with this. But to actually go out of your way to lecture the corporation, the Japanese corporation, about Jesus and God. What I find interesting, though, is that even though the sermon is religious in nature, it's heavily leftist influenced, right? The religious people, they do not like these depictions because it leads to sin. It makes a person have lustful thoughts. She doesn't like these depictions because of the male gaze. Like you actually witness this very bizarre mixture between wokeness and Christianity that just doesn't exist under orthodoxy. Again, from a religious standpoint, like, the correct thing, like, if you're an actual Christian, you would say, yeah, these are sinful, it gets men to have lustful thoughts, so this is why they're bad. A woke person that studies in the academia would say something like, these are bad because men think that women are like this in real life and it makes them misogynistic pigs, and we as a society need to uproot the sexismus and the patriarchy, right? So they managed to mix and match both. So apparently, you see, your body belongs to God, the woman says. You are not your own. He paid the price for dying on the cross. He suffered for you. The pictures you draw are not respecting the body. The body is not respected. They undermine the women. The women are undermined. A woman should be cherished and loved in a respectful way. You depict wantonness, lust, and despicable desire. I never understand this idea, though. Like, okay, I get the lust. I understand that. But what I don't get is the idea that if you see a sexy woman, you start disliking women, or like how does that work? Do women have something like this as well? Like, if they see an athletic man, do they start despising men? Like if a woman is placed next to a football player or an athlete, someone like Kratos, right? And they're lusting after Kratos, do they start hating men? Is that how feminists become a thing? I'm genuinely wondering, because I always hear, like, this idea that, yeah, like, if you watch lewdness, you start disliking women. It's a very American concept. It just doesn't exist in Eastern Europe. But like, if it's true, what is the equivalent for women? Like if a woman is next to a charismatic, tall, dark, and handsome man, she reads that type of erotica. And what, like, here's another question. What is the difference between seeing women in real life that are like this, and I know it blows the mind of most soccer moms, but there are women in real life. Like, you can have girlfriends that are literally like that. Like, they do exist, right? Women do have a sex drive. So if you have a woman that's like that in real life, does it also make you dislike women, or only if you see it behind the computer screen? So anyway, in the letter, the mother erroneously attributes the product solely to Kawa Entertainment, assuming that she's speaking directly to the artist and accuses them of apparently misusing the gift of art. Ooh. The images you sent to my son. See, I love how she is framing that her son is innocent in all this when he is the one that made the purchase. Like, lady, hold on a little bit. Like, they're a publicly traded company. Your son have went outside of the house and used probably your money to buy something. You should be the one assuming guilt for this. But anyway, tainted images of a true woman. It's a fucking catgirl, lady. What are you smoking? A woman with wisdom, understanding, hope to give strength to a man, not weakness. These pictures play on a man's weakness like Delilah to Samson, who deceived Samson into getting what she wanted. Listen, Samson was an absolute imbecile. If you know the story, I made a video about it. Like, Delilah is asking Samson like 3 or 4 times what is his weakness, and every time Samson lies to her, it's like, oh, you just need to bind my hands. And she binds his hands and then has like men that were hidden behind the corner jump Samson, and Samson just like breaks out of the chains and beats them up. And she's like, oh, you lied to me. You made me look foolish. To whom, woman? To whom? To the enemy? Like to the men that were hiding behind the window trying to capture Samson? So, no, I don't think that Samson was deceived. I think he knew, and I think like he just wanted to escape her. I think he just wanted to be caught and just be taken the fuck away from her because he couldn't put up with her, right? So, no, Delilah did not manage to deceive Samson. A man needs encouragement in the things of God so he can face the world like Joseph, who fled from immortality. This is fucking crap. Can you imagine having parents like this? I guarantee to you 100% the kid is going to become a social justice activist. Like the kid of this woman, high chance he becomes transgender. I guarantee to you, like these people, my fucking God. If you cannot express yourself without quoting from the Bible, you're going to have a difficult time. Like, I know that the image of the 70, we live in 2024, all right? Like, the kid has access to the internet. You need to start reasoning with him. You can still be a religious person, but, like, stop quoting Bible shit, right? Just like, talk like normal people. It's as obnoxious as when talking to a leftist and they start quoting dogma from the academia. It's literally the same. It's just like the other part of the coin. Relationships are destroyed, families are separated, and even suicide becomes a better option. What the fucking fuck? So if you see a picture of a cat girl, relationships are destroyed, families are... I think the big problem would be the government in the United States and the legal system that you created. That's what destroys relationships. The cat girl is for people to cope. Right? Like when society has given your son the middle finger and he looks at you at the mother and you're like that, that is his coping mechanism. You're pushing him towards the cat girls. I'm sorry to say this. Will a man or woman look back on these pictures and be proud of the life encounter? I mean, the shading is really nice. They seem to be selling well, so yes, I do think they will look back with pride. My friend, you created to produce something better, something that releases you from blah, blah, blah. Again, what I find baffling and bewildering is that there are things far, 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 far worse than a cat girl. OnlyFans, for instance. But you know, like, actual life prostitution is a thing, even in America, right? I would say that's worst. Single mothers, here's another take. Where's the father in all of this? Holy shit. Yeah, it amused me. I'll probably make a video on it. It's absolutely hilarious. Hola. Where the chat is? My chat is gone. Ah, here's my chat. Yeah, Kuma is a sin. Kuma. My God, like, I swear, the left is... well, actually, it's not the left. Americans in general are so obsessed with sexuality, man. They're so upset. Like I understand that there is like something which should be combated, right? Like, you don't want prostitutes everywhere. Like, I get that. But at the same time, it's just like a fucking drawing that's commercially available, and it wasn't even pornographic. Like, it was fully clothed. Like, come on. Jesus, like, there were comic books like that in the 90s. Even worse. SRC Maker. Your choice to share with the stream or not. No, I can't, holy shit, I can't share that because if I say What you just posted, I will get flagged. There's bots, but I do like the name. It's very interesting. Take into account that you can get banned for that name, so they do not know if you actually are like that in real life. So the word of advice. Bible quotes from single mothers. Oof level increased by 1,000. Also, Coomer Legion will prevail. It's not like, the thing is, like, many nations throughout the world tried eliminating pornography. But the question is, like, what is porn, right? Because, like, for some people, it is human beings engaging in intercourse, right? Like for some, that is the limit. For others, it's like seeing a naked person. And then you can go, no, actually, even if the person is clothed, if they're wearing risque clothing, that is still pornographic. And then you end up with the Sharia, where the person is covered up, and then you end up, well, even drawings that are stylized of adults, even that is a problem. And I'm pretty sure, like, if you were to ban all of this, then they would start saying, like, erotica novels, like 50 Shades of Grey. Even those are problematic. And it's like, I guess, but you're just going to create people that will resent you. Because when you take people's thing away, and there's another thing, they constantly talk about porn addiction. Is there, like, something where you can say it's not to the level of an addiction, but, like, just normal consumption? Like, what is the normal consumption that you're okay with? Like, what if a person just has a normal life, it doesn't influence them at all, and consumes it normally? Like other things, like alcohol, like cigarettes, like food. Yeah, like that, especially now with the obesity crisis. Anyway, the worst possible mix of insufferable assholes is progressive Christians. It's like the SNL church lady fuck Karl Marx. Unironically, like, this is what really fascinated me. Not like, oh, there's a person against porn. It's like, okay, first of all, it wasn't even porn. But moving beyond that, like what fascinates me is, like, from a Christian standpoint, you're supposed to focus on lust. But the progressive worldview is that it actually makes people dislike women. And I just don't see it that way. I can't imagine. Like, why is it that it makes you dislike women? My favorite... then they think that's how they should have sex. And I'm like, I don't watch it as an educational material, bitch. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Obviously, if you, like, when you're with someone in real life, you go with the flow. It's not like, oh, I seen this on the internet, so therefore. And even if, like, let's assume that you would think, okay, like, what's on the internet is how it's supposed to be done. You do it, the other person says, oh, not so rough, and you're like, okay, sorry. And that's it, people can communicate. My audio keeps dropping out. Is that something? No, you're the only one. Every single time on diversity, you're the only one that's complaining about my audio. Every single stream. I don't know. I think maybe it's you. Chat, please tell me my audio. Oh, my audio does keep cutting off. Yeah, shit. I think it's the internet, actually. The internet connection. Hold on. Let me unplug the mic and plug it back in. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Is it better now? If it's not better now, then I will have to stop the stream. All right. So let's try it out. I don't know what's up. Like, the microphone light is red. As you get to see here, on the audio input capture, it shows that it's consistent. So maybe it was the cable. All right. Well, if it's good so far, then we're good, chat. We're good. To be honest, like, I would actually like if pornography was banned, because then I would make a lot of money. You just create a black market and you can just sell stuff under the table. Like, that would be great. But to me, it's annoying because you're giving power to people that don't deserve it. It's like, who's in place of the banning? Who's in charge of the banning? And you get like these people that become like community leaders over talking about some shit. Like they don't have any skill, you know? They can't draw, they can't actually hold a proper job or anything like that. It's just like they go in virtue alone. And they start virtue signaling. And usually when you look into them, they have like a lot of skeletons in their closets, but okay. Justice for biodiversity. Yeah, I'm sorry, biodiversity. I shouldn't have picked on you. Apparently you did nothing wrong. Anyway, right, let's talk about Denuvo. Denuvo is interesting because let me see if I can find the article. So Denuvo doesn't like the toxicity. It's hate is supposedly from toxic gamers. Oh my goodness. Say it ain't so. In a recent interview, Denuvo's product manager, Andreas Ullman, addressed the fierce backlash the anti-piracy company has faced. And she's saying that the gaming community is very toxic. Well, listen, chat. They're basically admitting that it's working. So you need to amp up the toxicity. Whatever you're doing, just keep doing it, right? Like, you're demoralizing them. It's working. All jokes aside, though. Or was it a joke? I don't know. The thing with Denuvo, it's legitimately a bad product. Like if it was working as intended, if they spent less time crying about it and actually fixing the product, then maybe people wouldn't be toxic. And I assume toxicity means, like, people not wanting to buy the Denuvo products. Like, that's the worst toxicity a company can get. So like, let's look at what the product is supposed to do, right? Like, it's supposed to prevent people from pirating the game. Does it do that? No. Like, there's a lot of Denuvo games that are pirated. And secondly, the reason people are pissed off is that the pirated version works better than the original. So why is it that if I'm a loyal customer and I actually spend money on the product, why do I have a worse off experience than someone that just pirated it? Right? Like, am I not a sucker at that point? And am I not a dumbass? Like, I spend $70 on a game and someone else gets it for free and I have like a worse experience than the other person? And you have the audacity to tell me to stop being toxic? No. I'm going to start boycotting your shit. How about that? Is that toxic enough? Oh, it's not enough? I'll also tell other people to not buy your shit. How about that? I'm going to amp up the toxicity now because it's working. You're upset. Great. Great. Fucking great. I generally don't know if people that are into piracy are upset about Denuvo because, again, most games end up getting cracked anyway. So, no, I don't think that's the case, lady. I don't think that's what's upsetting people. I mean, just trying the Denuvo game versus a pirated version. There have been so many people that did, to the point where you don't have to. It's unilateral. Like the fix is in. People know that Denuvo is legitimately bad. Like, they used to say that it's not. Until, because, like, for a while, it's true. Like, the games didn't get cracked, right? So for a while it worked. But after that, they started getting cracked. And people, like, had, like, side-by-side comparison on the same rigs. And it's like, look at the frame rate, look at the CPU usage, look at the GPU usage. And they compared it, and it's like, yeah, Denuvo is slowing down your game. It's an anti-consumer product? It's AAA slop that gets Denuvo anyway, because it's expensive. Yeah, you know, I'm looking at Nikkei. Would the Christian mother be upset? I'm playing Nikkei. By the way, there's another thing that I noticed with the Americans. Like, you really can't debunk them when it comes to, like, anything of lewdness. If you're watching lewd shit, you're going to be a gooner and forever alone. That's what they say. If you tell them, well, actually, I'm married. Well, if you're married, why are you watching that? So what the fuck am I supposed to watch? Shut the fuck up. How about you do your business? How about you fuck off and you live your life the way you want to live? Why are you so concerned about me anyway and what I do? You want to fuck me or something? Like, no, then shut the fuck up. Jesus. People are so... Like I have people on the internet more concerned about what I do in my free time than my wife is. Isn't that weird? It's like, oh, what does your wife... Shut the fuck up. None of your business. Do Americans, like, not lived in none of your business land? Do they ever, like, just It's mostly Americans though. It's mostly America. Almost 9 out of 10 times. I don't know why. I can't explain this. But like most of the moralizing comes from their what happened? What was it, like the prohibition that made you this way? It's weird, right? Like maybe after more years of immigration, the culture will change. And at least from this point of view, you're going to start becoming normal. So anyway, while playing Nikkei, I noticed that they give a lot of shit for free. Like you don't have to pay a single dollar to play Nikkei. It's free. And you play it like that, and after a while, you just feel bad. It's like, okay, I spent 1 month playing this game. It was entertaining. I liked the story. I liked the graphics. I liked everything. It entertained me. I'll give them $50. This is how people think. And I'm not the only one. Like, I saw a lot of people that play the same game or other gacha games, because now they have, like, a different monetization type. They're not trying to force you to pay. They're not trying to trick you. They're basically just giving you shit for free, and it's a good product, so you feel bad. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to give them $50. There's no Denuvo. There's no like, stuff that's supposed to cripple your experience. There's no, like, day one DLC. You know what they did? They made a costume for Scarlet. Just Google Nikkei Scarlet costume. I don't know if I can show it on Google. Scarlet red dress. Just Google that, okay? Like seriously, Google Nikkei Scarlet red dress, okay? Just Google that. Do you know how much that dress costs, chat? Do you know how much they charge for that dress? Can you guess? Nothing. Nothing. They gave it for free. They gave it for free because it's an anniversary. Do you know how many people felt bad and decided to give money to the company? Because it's like, this is like the new way of monetization. You just give a good product, you respect the customer, and people will give you money. Meanwhile, you have like AAA, oh, we're all about inclusivity, but our game costs $120 and we got like 5-6 DLCs coming up and microtransactions, and you don't even get to own the game. Like, you need to log in to PlayStation account, and we're going to harvest your data and sell it to third parties and have your voice used for AI training. Yeah, that's what AAA does. And they're like, oh, wow, why don't people like us? Yeah, they did it for free. It's not even that. It's like their 1.5 year anniversary. Who the fuck has a 1.5 year anniversary, right? They gave us 50 free pulls. That's a 5 and a 0, chat. Right? 50 free pulls. That's the equivalent of probably more than $100. Like, you to get like 50 gems worth of pulls in the game, it's around $100 to $200. And they gave that for free, forever, just by logging in. And you got like a lot of, like, the whole game is, the purpose of the game is a waifu collector. Like, you're supposed to collect it like you're collecting stamps. And you managed to get like so many collectibles, rares, type of stuff, for free. And that's the mentality of Asian companies. It's like, we're going to be nice to our customers, and in exchange, the customer is going to be nice to us. And they're printing money. And now they're like, okay, we got enough money, we're going to make a AAA game. And they made Stellar Blade. And it's like, okay, well, why can't the West do this? Why are Westerners so fucking greedy? Like, maybe, instead of using the stick, you can use the carrot. Instead of using Denuvo, instead of using all of these online-only bullshit, just make a game and be nice to the customer and give people what they want. World of Warcraft anniversary was 12 months. That's 12 USD times 12 equals 244. Had the 90 USD event. Did World of Warcraft? World of Warcraft is shit. I'm not going to include it. I don't care what it does. World of Warcraft in 2024 requires an online subscription. Like, fuck off. The game costs money. Like, you gotta pay money to actually have the game. You gotta pay a monthly fee. And on top of that, they have microtransactions. You want to change your name, microtransaction. You want to change faction, microtransaction. You want to skip the game. You want to skip the fucking game and level up, microtransaction. Like, fuck off. I don't know. No, that, like, World of Warcraft is the epitome of cancer. Fucking epitome of cancer, chat. That is no worse monetization in the gaming world right now than World of Warcraft. But, you know, if people keep buying, then they deserve it. Speaking of always online, Activision Blizzard released Call of Duty Black Ops 6. That is always online. Yeah, no, they always want to do that. The idea is that they want you online so that they can harvest your data, so that they can use your voice for AI. That's why they want you online only. And so that you don't own the game, of course. Right? Like, you get the game on a disc and you have to log online. And moderation as well. Like, they're basically stating that if you get banned from one Call of Duty, you should get banned from all Call of Duties. So, like, if I get banned from Modern Warfare 4, I shouldn't be able to play the new title either. It's fucking insane. Like, why would you do something like that? Fuck is wrong with you? Oh, he said the N-word. Oh my god, goodness. He had the Bridge PewDiePie incident. Yeah, don't let him play Call of Duty ever again. You know what? Good. I hope they ban as many people as possible. I hope everyone that plays Call of Duty gets banned like this. Monitoring what you say while you play a single player mode and ban you if you say something. They already tried that. Well, not banning. I forgot which one it was. It was either Fallout 4 or Outer Worlds. It was one of those. But basically, like, they had a list of names that you couldn't do. So if you wanted to name your character Bitch in a single player game, the game wouldn't allow you to name it Bitch. And it was like a couple of names like that. And I'm like, okay, so the developers are aware that no one else gets to see what you say. It's a single player game, right? Like, you're not playing multiplayer. But they want to educate you. They want to force you into realizing, no, actually, bitch is a wrong word. Stop using it. And it's like, well, you're not my mother. Fuck off. I already paid you money for the game. You know, this is what wokeness is about. I finally think I have managed to come up with the definition for wokeness. Because up until now, everyone's like, what is woke? What is woke? And I think what is woke is the intent behind the change, right? Like, if you add a woman in a video game, it can or may not be woke. It's the intent. Are you adding a woman in a video game because you think that creates an interesting story and that you think that the players want to see that character? Or are you adding a woman in a video game in order to help marginalized groups and change real life perceptions of what men have towards women? If it's the second one, it's fucking woke. If it's the first one, it's not woke. So for instance, Ghost of Tsushima. Why did they add a woman in the sequel? Like, they took out the ban, and a lot of people were upset because they wanted the continuation of the story of Jin. And now if you want to see that, you will never get to experience it, which is why people are upset. It's like removing Tomb Raider. It's like removing Lara Croft and then replacing her with a man. No one would like that. But why did they add a woman? Well, they added a woman because she's a prominent far-left activist. So they wanted to keep giving her a platform, keep giving her a reason to have like a lot of followers on Twitter so that she can tell to people about why the police are bad. And the second one is to lecture people what a strong woman looks like. And because she looks androgynous as well. So it is like the critical consciousness is the intent, right? If they were to add a woman in the game that was like a big titty lady and they wanted to tell like the story of how a woman is treated in medieval Japan, and maybe she's like an assassin or something, that may not have been woke. Because the intent wasn't to educate the player. The intent was like, oh, we think we can tell an interesting story with the characters we have. It wasn't enough that she was in Dragon Age Felguard. The woman in the first one made sense. She was a thief and vengeful, and she was also good looking. Like compared to my surprise, because I expected I would see a hag. But yeah, no, like the woman in the first game was actually well made. That wasn't woke. Like she was actually part of the story. She was interesting. She made sense. That chick from Assassin's Creed in Greece didn't make sense. Usually, how you can tell, obviously there's exceptions, but how you can tell if a female character in the game is woke or not, if you change the character with the man and the game plays the exact same way and there's no difference, it's fucking woke. Like, let me give you an example of a game you can't change. There's that game where you play as a sister, like you're the big sister and you're trying to escort your little brother through a war-torn land. I think it's called Plague Tale or something like that. The game actually, like the NPCs treat you like a woman. The universe acknowledges that you're a woman. Like, that is not woke. Like, that is a story crafted for a female protagonist. It's perfect. The first Tomb Raider, the remake. There are certain scenes there where Lara kills the first man, right? Like, she's not a murderer. She never killed before. And there's a Russian that tries to rape her, so she grabs a gun and shoots him. After that, she pukes because she just took a human's life. Really well-made scene. Very emotional. The progressives hate it. But, again, that is crafted for a female protagonist. If you played as Kratos, that scene wouldn't make sense. And then later on, you have, like, this guy that is absolutely in love with you. Like, he has a crush on you. But he's too shy to say anything. So he goes out of his way to try to impress you and gets himself killed. And again, very emotional moment, really well done scene. Wouldn't have worked if you look like Kratos. So yeah, Metroid is woke. Metroid is, again, I mentioned before, like, there are exceptions, right? Like, not every single game is like that. But Metroid was like, I think like they added a woman for the shock value. Right? So, like, no, the story actually fits because you play as a woman. Because when you finish the game, you realize, oh, it's not a man, it's actually a woman. So, no, it's not woke. Like if the ending had, like, a random dude coming out of the suit, it wouldn't be as impactful. So, no, like, my thesis still stands. All they want to do is to make the Chads mad. Unironically, like, this is the mindset, right? This is literally how they do business. Like, the Chads are their moral compass. If all the Chads would like to see hags, they would start making sexy women. Yeah, the guy taking the helmet off doesn't hit the same. No, like, seriously, think about it. Almost every single video game that isn't woke and has, like, female characters, if you were to change the female character with the guy, it wouldn't make sense. Look at anime. Anime is a great example, right? Like, let's look at Konosuba. If Aqua was a guy, would it still make sense? Would the scenes still feel the same? No, right? So, like, they would be cringe. If Mikasa was a guy, like, he would be in love with Eren, okay, but it wouldn't justify, like, why another guy was hitting on her in the barracks. Like, basically, if you want to have a female character, she needs to have femininity. There needs to be some people flirting with her. There needs to be, like, people acknowledging that she's a woman. If it's a medieval society, they need to wonder, like, what is a woman doing here, right? Like, you need to be immersed. Like, you can't just have, like, a medieval society and everyone is acting like it's 2024 and everyone, right? Like, you're telling a story from a time when humanity was different. Like, the perfect example of this is in Dragon Age. If you want to play as an elf, they actually are racist to you. They acknowledge the fact that you're an elf, right? Like, that creates immersion. That's interesting. It's not just, like, a human with pointy ears and you just get, like, a couple of stats and that's it. No. Like, they actually treat you differently based on the race you chose. It's impactful. It ties into the ending of the game. Joker 2 is a success because it made the Chads mad. I actually saw that, yes. Lots of games you can swap the male with the female character and it won't change much. Yeah, exactly, because they're woke. The reason they have a female character isn't because they think oh, this is actually going to make a more interesting story, or it's going to give the players what they want. No, they just do it because it's a checkbox and it has to be done. Perfect example of this, Mass Effect, right? So like Mass Effect 3, you can play as a female shepherd, but you know what? It actually matters. If you play as a female shepherd, there are specific relationships that you can now explore. You can't romance Tali Zora, but you can romance Garen. So the game actually changes based if you play a man or a woman. Meanwhile, in Baldur's Gate, it doesn't. In Baldur's Gate, regardless of what you play, the characters act the same to you. You can have sex with anyone, you can romance anyone. Doesn't really matter. I will give them this though. It actually matters if you pick a race, like if you pick Dark Elf. I think like some characters react to you if you're that. But that's pretty much it. Lots of games were like that. Not RPGs though. No, like if you play old games, you'll notice that. Like for instance, in Fallout 2, right? In Fallout 2, if you play a female character, one of the first options you get is to have sex with a random bloke, and he will give you 200 caps. You don't get that option as a guy. And there's no downsides to it, either the fact that you feel nasty with yourself, but you meet a slave trader, and you want to rescue Sulik, which is an NPC, and the slave trader gives you 500 caps discount if you sleep with him. You can only do that if you're a female character. If you're a male character, there is a gang which doesn't allow women in New Reno, and you can only join them if you're a male character. I think like you can't become a porn star if you're a male character. You can only become a fluffer. Even in Fallout New Vegas, if you're the courier, I forgot the name of the guy that shoots the courier, Benny or something like that, right? If you're a female character and you have the Black Widow trait, you can actually convince him to sleep with you, and then you can smother him with a pillow. Like, don't give me the shit that video games in the back in the day didn't care about what character you picked. Like, no, it actually mattered if you played as a female character or a male character. It's only the new ones. Like, for instance, if you play Assassin's Creed, the one in Greece, if you play male or female, it doesn't matter. It's the same story. No one is even wondering. It's like, what? Why is a woman running around in plate armor and has spears and shit? No one asks you. No one cares. No one flirts with you. No one acknowledges that you have any femininity. No, it's just like, it's literally the same thing. If you think that's unfair, remember that nature does not care, boyo. Oh my god, that druid, holy shit. I still sleep, I still see him when I sleep. South Park game mattered what your skin color was as well. Did it? I thought it only mattered in the beginning. They had like this joke, it's like choose difficulty. And if you went easy, it would be white. And if you went like hard mode, it would be black. But like in the game, you actually didn't have any influence whatsoever. So like it just lied to you. It mattered in old RPGs, but less so in other types of games. I'm trying to think like a game where it literally didn't matter. I can't think of any. I think like, you know, you could say like Tomb Raider, but Tomb Raider had sex appeal. So like, again, you're marketing to the young demographic. Like, there's still a purpose of why you'd have a woman in the game. Like, sure, you could have had Indiana Jones instead of Lara Croft, but I don't think the game would hit the same. MMOs don't count, okay? So like World of Warcraft doesn't count. Arcanum is a great example in terms of reaction to sex. There's, for example, Gentleman's Club. You need a special invite to enter as a woman, and you can get in by sleeping or stealing it from the owner. Yeah, a lot of old RPGs were like that. It's also basically like how the NPCs react. I mean, if you're a gorgeous woman, obviously guys are going to turn their heads and react to that, right? But when you play, this is what I noticed. Like a lot of games do this shit. The first title sells really well, and people really like it, and then they hire consultants and diversity officers, and then the next titles are shit. So, like for instance, the first remake of Lara Croft was insanely successful, and everyone was cheering it, and they were really happy with it. But the progressives were livid. It's like, why does Lara almost get sexually abused? Like they were really fixated on that scene. And then when you played the second and the third game, they remade the character model, made her look worse, gave her like the strong jawline. Wasn't as bad as the new jawlines, don't get me wrong, but it's like the start, the little start of the jawlines. And literally no one cares that she's a woman. No one flirts with her, no one interacts with her in any way. And it's like, you can literally swap Lara Croft for Kevin Sorbo, and it would be the same game. Like, nothing would change. No character would react different. Like, there would be no moment where you're like, oh, this is cringe. Yeah, they also gave her top surgery, yeah. In Sid Meier's Pirates, if you play as a certain nationality, ports of some nationalities wouldn't sell stuff or help you. I didn't know that, but that's cool. It makes sense. Early console DOS, there wasn't much choice for a lot of games. I mean, look, if you're talking about games that barely had the ability to create interesting stuff because they were limited by resources and the platform they ran on, that doesn't count. I remember Jill of the Jungle. That was actually quite fun. Lara got swapped for Nathan Drake. Hold on, let me actually see. I mean, her model wasn't as bad, but like I never understood why they changed it, and I think like they changed it in the remake as well. I think this is the original one. Hold on. Yeah, I'm trying to find the a picture where it's. Well, what was the name of the third game though? The one with the Aztecs. Then it's difficult to. Does anyone know the name of the third game? I played it. I know I streamed it, but I forgot the title of it. Shadow of something? Yeah, I found it. So this is how she looked in the first game, and she had big titties. And then they made her look like this. And I'm wondering, like, what was wrong with this one? And the interesting thing is, like, you still have, like, the original skin. You can still make her look like this in the game. It's just that the facial animations isn't done, and like, when she's in cutscenes and she's talking, it looks really weird. But I don't understand why they chose to make this artistic choice. Because like I was thinking like maybe the motion capture actress didn't want to work with them, but like the skin is in the game, so it's very bizarre. It's just like one of the, and of course like the breast got smaller, which you know is what it is. Have not caught you live in a while, V. Here's an apology for gaslighting you on the tax debt amnesty. Yeah, you did. I never thought they would actually reward debtors with a 50% discount and no penalties. Is it from the same game? Hold on. Fuck. I hate Google. It told me it's from the first. Tomb Raider Remake Survivor. Oh, okay. No. Look, what's happening is that the first one, when they did a remake of it, they changed her face. And they also have, like, the previous actress, which looked different. Ah, finally. Finally, I have found it. Okay. So this is how she looked like in the first game, chat. Right? And then they changed her into this. Like, they got a different actress. And I don't understand why they did that. Like, don't get me wrong, they're both beautiful. But it's like, why did they want it to change? Like, what was wrong with this? What was the problem with this? Like the reason this actually worked is that she was able to mimic the emotion of being afraid really well. Like the whole idea of the game is that you're on a ship, it capsizes, and you're on this island with these crazy people. And Lara is absolutely scared and terrified. And she's like in the rain and cold and mud, and you get to see the hardship and the hero's journey. And by the end of the game, she becomes confident. And it's like that transition, and it's really displayed in the body language on how she gets from being scared and afraid into an actual survivor. And by the end of the game, she actually becomes Tomb Raider, and she gets like the 2 pistols and stuff. So it's really well done, right? But like it requires for the player to feel that the character is actually frightened and afraid, and it looks like, you know, like an average girl that's placed in such a situation. And she is a hero specifically because she does the extraordinary and manages to overcome this. Meanwhile, the new actress that they got always looks confident, has like the resting bitch face, like the angry face, like looks in control of the situation. And the game is still good, but like it takes away that initial thing. It takes away that you know, like the idea that she's in danger, and she looks confident from the beginning. She looks in control from the first time she's in the game. So anyway, right? So what Gabriel Narta is saying, the Romanian government did like one of the most idiotic things that I can think of. And it really pisses me off because they're basically saying that if you're a person like me who pays their taxes on time is a moron. Right? So like if I paid my taxes on time, I'm an imbecile because apparently the people who didn't pay their taxes, they get amnesty. Which means that if they pay by, I think the expiration date is gone though. But if they paid by this autumn, they only had to pay 50% and they were forgiven for the rest of the debt. So basically what they are saying is that if I wouldn't have paid my taxes on time, I could have paid them now and only paid half. And it's like, motherfucker. How are you rewarding me? Like, I always pay my taxes on time. I always pay everything that I'm due. Why are you punishing me? Why are you promoting laziness? Why are you encouraging people that don't pay their taxes? Why are you rewarding them by forgiving 50%? Oh, but apparently I will get like a 5% off next year for being a good payer. And I'm like, wow. Really? Oh, I get 5% for being a good payer. Oh, I'm touched. Absolutely touched. No, I know what the logic is, right? Like, there's 2 possibilities of what happened. Number 1, they do not know who owns what. Like they're so incompetent that they have no idea who owns the money. So they're banking on the fact that there will be people that they wouldn't be able to audit or even know that will come up and just give half what they owe so that they're okay, right? The other one is that the tax evasion was so phenomenally high that there's so many people that didn't pay to the point where they do not have the resources to go after everyone. So they're banking on the fact, all right, well, at least we'll forgive half and then we're going to go after the other half. Yeah, 50% off at Christmas. It's fucking insane, man. It's fucking insane. And, you know, like, this is what pisses me off about the government. And it's also like the student debt relief in the United States. Same shit. So, like, you're having a person that pays their debt, and they're the moron, because if they waited, the government would have just forgiven them. Like, how does that make any sense? How does it make sense for the people that chose not to go to a university? And were like, well, I don't have money for a university, so therefore, you know. Yeah, you can't jail half the country, it's true. It's like when Raid Shadow Legends only gives prizes to new play. Oh, fuck off. They do that? Oh my god. It's called being a soccer V. Yeah. Absolutely correct. I can't. I want to refute you, but I cannot. With student debt, it's unfair to people who get to pay for others' mistakes. Yeah, like literally, it's something that the working class has to pay for. Like, usually it's the rich that give charity to the poor. Now it's like the poor giving it to the rich. That's why the Alien franchise eventually flopped. Once Ripley has already grown and is no longer really frightened of the xenomorphs, there's nowhere for her characters to go. Yeah, I agree with that, actually. That's actually a good point, right? Like, the first Aliens is an actual horror game. A horror movie. And you feel for Ripley, like you want her to survive. And then she does, right? Now, the second one is interesting because it's a lot more action-y. It's not about Ripley, it's about the soldiers. But as you're reaching the third and then the fourth movie, especially on the fourth, Ripley is in control. So, like, there's no more drama. There's no, you know, like... And I gotta say, you know, like, Ripley is not really a character with a lot of depth. I know I may actually piss off a lot of people, but it's the type of character that works for one, maybe two movies. Like, after that, you just... You know, if you want a character that goes in a franchise and it's got, like, 5 or 6 movies, you need someone like Blade that's either, like, really cool and cracks a lot of one-liners, You need someone that does a lot of cool shit. If you have, like, a character like Ripley, I mean, she's interesting the first episode, right? Once you get to know her. And then in the second one, it's also interesting because it's not about her, it's about the Marines mostly. But then it becomes boring, like, you already know the character. Yeah, the first two are very good. The third one is and no one liked the fourth. Alien Romulus came out. It's actually decent. Well, if you say so, I'll probably give it a watch. Even overpowered, bald One Punch Man has flaws to balance himself. One Punch Man goes after a very formulaic thing. Like, it's not really about the dangers that they face. It's more about the character development, right? So, like, One Punch Man is not about One Punch Man. It's about the people around him. And every single time is the same story. You have, like, this monster that beats everyone. And the heroes are in danger. And they don't know what to do. They don't know how to deal with him. And they're getting beaten. And One Punch Man is trying to arrive, like he's not there, but he is trying to you know, using a bicycle in order to move faster or whatever. And eventually, just as about the monster is about to kill the hero, One Punch Man is there, punches him once, and that's it. And repeat this ad infinitum. They're just like, okay, a new monster, exactly the same thing happens. So like, it's actually cool to see the heroes around him improving, right? Like the heroes around him don't stagnate. They actually do grow in power. So that's what One Punch Man is about. Now Dragon Ball Z is different. No. Dragon Ball Z is completely different. Dragon Ball Z, you got Goku and Vegeta. And Vegeta is never as good as Goku. So he, like there's a villain that beats everyone up. Vegeta goes, manages to beat the villain a little bit, but then Vegeta goes BTFO, and then Goku steps in. And once Goku steps in, it can go two ways. Either Goku manages to win, or Goku gets beaten up. If Goku gets beaten up, then Goku escapes with Vegeta. They go and they train, and then they come back and Goku wins. And then another villain comes up. And usually what happens is that the new villain beats up the previous villain in order to show that the new villain is actually stronger and he means business. So like you can have what was it? Hit, right? Like Hit is the most powerful guy. Like he can stop time and he can beat you without you being able to do anything, except if you're Goku, because Goku can go Supra, Ultra, Saiyan, Instinct, Kaioken times 4,000, right? And if you go like beyond 3,999, then you can actually overcompensate the time stopping thing. So now Goku is beaten by Hit. Like he loses the tournament, right? Like Hit manages to forfeit, right? Like he pretends to lose. So Goku technically lost, but he actually won. It doesn't matter. But yeah, like Goku loses to Hit. So it's established that Hit is the most powerful in the universe, right? But then you have like Jiren, and Jiren comes up and he beats Hit. So now Jiren is stronger because he beat Hit. And Jiren beats Goku, but then Goku manages to like, in this case, he doesn't train. He awakens some bullshit. And with the power of bullshit, he manages to be, right? It's not like One Punch Man. It's not like One Punch Man. One Punch Man never loses. And One Punch Man doesn't need to train. No, Goku gets beaten all the time. This is what I'm saying. Like, Goku gets beaten at least once by every villain. Everyone beats Goku. Cell beat Goku. Hit beat Goku. Jiren beats Goku. Everyone beats Goku. But then Goku trains or unlocks the bullshit, and then he manages to overcome. Goku can't even beat Goku. Goku beats Goku Black. Because he awakens the bullshit. Yeah. Yeah, Goku died many times, yeah. One Punch Man already trained, but Goku already trained too. It's just that One Punch Man doesn't need to train ever again, while Goku needs to constantly train. He didn't beat No, he did beat Goku Black. No. He did beat Goku Black, but then Goku Black did the bullshit, and he fused with Zamasu. And then Goku fused with Vegeta and managed to beat them, but then, like, Goku Black did the bullshit, and now he's, like, the universe or something. Like, he's everywhere. So Goku summons the little kid that's... I forgot the name of it. Omni some shit. And he manages to, like, erase Zamasu. So, like, technically, Goku won, but, like, Goku Black had more bullshit. Like they both pulled out the bullshit, so... Like first Zamasu pulled out the bullshit, then Goku pulled out the bullshit, then Zamasu pulled another bullshit, and then Goku pulled the ultimate bullshit. Yeah, Zeno was like, yeah. I don't know, man. Like, I think Toriyama is an excellent writer. I really love Dragon Ball. I love Dragon Ball Z. But Dragon Ball Super, like, I'm sorry, that's bad. Like, worst written stuff. I wish it didn't exist, but it is what it is. And I also don't understand why Goku needs to win. Like, it's called Dragon Ball. It's not called Goku. Like, it would be okay if Vegeta takes the W at least once. Oh yeah, the first movie was fun. I get. Oh, it wasn't Tori? I would explain. Anyway, Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the super chats. I'm gonna go work on